Live Friday night, Winston Cup Aero 88, FSBRacing.com. All my exes are from Texas, and we are in Texas. This is Mount Meter Jr. along with my cohort in crime, Greg Bernardo. How's it going, Greg?
Hey, Milty. It's going well. Going good here. Yeah, in the Lone Star State. Going old school here, Milty, with the original Texas Motor Speedway layout and track. Should be one that most of these guys are familiar with, so that leads to good racing generally. And decent sized field. Some good names sprinkled throughout, including Milty, our red hot points leader, Sean Reap. 5 wins already this season. He is in that sweet spot that you get in when you're a great driver like he is. And he's just hitting his marks in every race, every track, Milty. Very impressive stuff.
Absolutely, and you know how you roll, and he's raced with smarts and consistency, and also brute speed.
Yeah, and we're in happy hour here as it's winding down. Let's take a look at our starting lineup here, Milty. And we see...
Actually, I'm not seeing the broadcast right now, so... Fortunately, and there we go. Okay. Took a little while for my computer, so now we are live.
Yes, we're live. Happy hour winding down. Looking at our qualifying running order there. We see 15-car Matt Watkins, Milty. What's old is new again. Matt Watkins, when he decides to qualify, Milty, usually he qualifies up front. And in this case, on the pole by just 4 thousandths of a second there, or 10 thousandths of a second, over Ryan Johnson. Dan Irvine right up there with some quality times, Milty, in the 3s. We know that's a fast lap there. But you can see 1 through 11 there that qualified only separated by less than 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course, he got some laps offline. He had to. I mean, just show up.
Just like I told
he showed up right at the last second. Had no practice on the server, and pulled that rabbit out of his hat.
10-4. Field, bud.
And we see our field lined up on pit lane as they get the command to start engines. We see the Mario car there, Matt Watkins, Ryan Johnson right beside him.
And, obviously, Matt's not running for points. But, Ryan Johnson is, and he's definitely in contention here. Wants to make a move here tonight, and qualifying second, it really helps that.
Yeah, we got, Slim, Mark DeSenza, Jeff Hale electing not to qualify. They'll start in the back, Milty. Have to work their way through this field. It's a fast field. So it might be a little challenging for those guys early on. with such tight times from those Q laps. Ken Hansen right there in the 9 car, Pops, all within just hundredths of a second of each other there. Rick Bisconner, Dean Gautreau in the 060 LSU Tigers ride. And then we got, who's that, the 007, Milty.
Yeah, last broadcast, chicken dinner, winner for Dan Jones, the Canadian. So he's looking to definitely do that again.
Yeah, this Winston Cup Series has been an American dominated series, Milty, and maybe Derby Don has stole a few wins here and there as well from north of the border here. But man, Dan Jones breaking in there, that was a big win. Let's see if he can carry that forward here at Texas Motor Speedway. We got 134 laps and green flag, and we're underway. Matt Watkins leading the field off, and off to a great start there. Ryan maybe a little slow to the throttle there, and side by side immediately with Irvine there, Milty, and he's going to take that second position quickly.
And Irvine looking to go up against the winningest driver of all time at FSB, and that is the 15 of Matt Watkins.
Yeah, whether he's the 15 or the 35, Milty, he racks up wins.
The most of all time.
Yeah, he was the 15, then he was the 35, and now he is the 15. He goes high here, Milty, and that's not really where you want to be with these cold tires. It's a handful up there, but Matt, of course, no issues for him, but he does have to give up that leading position to Dan, who will take the lead here and maybe lead his first lap of the night. Remember, in several races, Milty, he's looked just, on point. And then, something happens and dominoes fall,
and
absolutely. He ends up, on the hauler. So
Dan is qualified well and shown speed, and then lost it. Basically. Now he's got the GOAT behind him there, and I like his spirit though. You gotta keep doing that, and when you got speed like Dan Irvine has, why not? Dan's got experience. He's run NASCAR 2003 for a long time, so
yeah, he's maybe a newcomer here to FSB, but he's certainly not a newcomer to NR 2003 racing, and he shows that every time he's out there, Milty. He's up in the mix. He leads laps. He looks sometimes like the best car on the track at times, and then it's managing this whole race, Milty, that makes this series so difficult. It's a long race, so you have to keep focused. You got to make pit stops, guaranteed. When yellows come out, you got to be first in, first out of these pit stops. Can't make mistakes on pit lane. You got to keep your focus for maybe a couple hours at times. And some guys just, blink their eyes once and they're in the wall.
Yeah, we've been there, done that, and
Ryan
using all the track is the 27 is really using all that track. And Matt Watkins is sniffing and breathing, but now we're looking at 3 wide there.
Yeah, Ryan with an aggressive move to the inside, taking Sean and Ken Hansen with him. Matt Watkins on the outside, giving up the ground now. So Matt getting shuffled back to the middle of the pack. Maybe he's elected to go into a little conservative mode here, Milty. Man, this is like almost this is almost like an all-star event when you look through this field, Milty. We may not be seeing too many cautions.
Well, thing is, they're packed really close, so it's going to be hard. And
yeah, we see some
one mistake is going to be bad.
Matt continuing to fall back. Pops on the inside, getting by Jeff Hale now.
Oh, Ryan Johnson taking a look there.
Going
that
back
bottom
to the front,
is good.
side by
Later,
side.
and a few laps, he's got some heat on the tires.
Oh,
Oh, and the
almost
Dan
touched
Ryan
the wall
scrapes
there.
the wall.
Yeah, Dan really using up that track, Milty, and now he's going to have to give that ground just like Matt did. Looks like
Well,
the outside line right
yeah,
now,
that
Milty, is
arrow
not where
pushed
you want
him
to
up.
be. Oh,
Yep.
and a little contact there with our points leader, Sean Reap, Milty. It looked like Dan got a big kind of sucked up right there to Sean's back bumper, and it looked like he had to cut the wheel a little to avoid the contact. It looks like no harm, no foul, but he's back from first to third. Ryan, our new leader, Sean into second. Ken Hansen fourth. Pops up to fifth, Milty. Good run so far for Pops here at Texas.
Pops is in the run here for the championship and definitely the podium. Just about 20 points, 23 points out from a tie for second place with Ryan Johnson.
I'll say Pops hasn't maybe been spectacular this season, Milty, but he's been consistent, and he gets the car to the finish line every night or every week. You know, and that goes a long way to points racing.
Absolutely. This pro sim racing, guys ain't they're not plowing crops. You know?
Yeah, some great battles going on here. Ken Hansen, Jeff Hale, side by side. Jeff Hale moving up nicely up into the top 5, taking Mark to. Oh, and there's contact. As soon as I say that, it looks like Slim and Pops. Pops backwards.
Oh, and they go around. Caution is out.
That may have been a lot less than it could have been. Let's take a look
Ryan
at
Johnson,
that.
your leader. Okay, we'll take a look at that first.
Yeah, let's get a little better camera angle here on it. And we see Pops and Slim were side by side there. And it looks to me, Milty, Pops just did not know Slim was there and just kind of walled him. And then Slim came bouncing off the wall into Pops. They synchronize a nice synchronized spin there by both of them.
Hard lick for Pops into the wall.
Right at the end there, Pops head on into the wall. Slim corrected and kept going. Little maybe rear end hit by Slim. Now,
that's a hard lick.
Let's go quickly back live now, Milty, and we see Pops and Slim on the tail end of this line coming into pit lane.
Good thing for the Slim Jim. Snap yourself into a Slim Jim.
We see the back end of Slim's car is wrinkled, Milty, so the crew may get a chance to attend to that now. Slim's already, in the back of the lead lap, so you might as well take the time now, get 4 tires, fuel, and bang on that car and get it right for the long run here.
It didn't look as bad for Slim, but it's definitely damaged there, but it pops hard into the wall.
Yeah, and it looked like they popped out that back bumper for Slim, and away he went, Milty. Not minimal damage, and Pops is out as well, so hopefully no engine damage for Pops, Milty. Sometimes you can pop.
Side by side, him and the... Oh, wow. Gotro.
You can sometimes pop the front end pretty gently, but you get motor damage and you just lose some RPMs, and that can be a big factor here at Texas, Milty. Yeah, and a nice little battle off the line there between Slim and Dean and some others there coming off of pit lane. Back to the front here. Looks like
back to the front.
Back to the front. Looks like Rick stayed out to lead a lap, get a bonus point, but Brian will be our leader come green. Jeff Hale second.
Matt Watkins all the way to the back with the dogs there. What happened to the goat?
So our first caution comes lap 13. 134.
Take a look at that. Have to see how this recycles under caution.
Yeah, it looks like Matt is showing in the 6th position.
6, there you go.
But he will probably be 5th because Rick did pit. So the reset looks like will be Ryan Johnson, Jeff Hale, Sean Reap, top 3. Then Dan and Matt rounding out the top 5. And then Ken Hansen, Dan Jones in 8th, our admin, Ken Soska in the Gatorade ride. Slotting in at 9th, and there's involved in that first little run around there. Slim is up to 10th. Like I said, the crew beat out that back bumper. It looks pretty straight now. Behind him, we got Dean, Pops.
Yeah, that rear deck lid is the most important thing. Looks like it's fine. We'll get that rear downforce.
And then Rick, who, of course, led that lap, so he'll fall to the back. And then Mark DeSenza going to be shotgun on the field here. Lights are now out on the pace car. So we'll be going green next time around. So Milty, Texas looks, when I look at it, I think Charlotte. Am I wrong in thinking that?
Yeah, I mean Charlotte and Texas are two different animals. Texas has that wide 1 and 2, and then the tighter 3 and 4, which is similar. You talk similarities with cookie cutters, as we call them. Half milers, that's the deal. But as far as banking and entry and dealing with these corners, 1 and 2 definitely more banking, and then it fades away coming out, and 3 and 4 is tighter, but it doesn't have that kind of dog leg like Charlotte has. Or where you kind of go through 3 and 4, and there's like a flat spot in between where you got to plant the car a second time and roll. You break these corners into four to 6 segments. You know, generally 4 entry, first part of the corner, the center of the corner. Pre-entry and exit.
Yeah, and we see green flag back out. Ryan leading the field as they stream out down the back stretch here. Jeff Hale second. Sean Reed.
Brian Johnson is due, and he's been really busy. You know, definitely. You know, working on him and the Isaac's go-kart, and running a season racing for a championship in between these sim racing here. And I'm sure Isaac is probably getting ready for tomorrow night. Probably something going on with the go-karts there.
And a great drive by Jeff Hale on the outside, trying to do an outside pass, Milty. Very difficult to do at Texas. But now he's going to try to do a little out-to-in move. I think Ryan anticipated that, took that inside line away, and they battle back into the turn. That's really kept this field tight as Ryan and Jeff battling for the lead here right off the restart. Dan Irvine, interested party right there in third. Should I follow Jeff? Should I stay with Ryan? Matt Watkins right on his bumper. So here goes Matt Watkins, Milty, flexing his muscles again.
He's pushing on Dan Irvine, definitely. Let's get a little in car, see what they see.
Yeah, we'll go in car here with Dan. You see Matt Watkins right there filling up his mirror along with Jeff Hale, looking out at our leader, Ryan Johnson.
That's what you got in your mirror. Too wide behind you. A double apex going, typical cookie cutter. Now you're going through 1 and 2. Pretty good banking here with a good exit. Doesn't close up on you as much as Charlotte. And way tighter here, 3 and 4. More banking, but not much lift there. Just a little bit of breezing the throttle. Going into 1. Later on in the tar run, you might want to ride the brake a little bit, but it really loses you so much momentum in these 700 horsepower Aero 88 cars. Not the power you have in the Cup car.
Yeah, now Dan Wright getting right up on the deck lid of our leader. Let's see if he can try to get him a little out of shape here, Milty. You can kind of take the air off the spoiler when you enter these turns.
Absolutely, yeah. You want to get right up on them, but these guys are also crew chief. They're looking at their tire temps, and they know if they push it too hard, that the next corner they got to back it off a little bit, go to pressure, and play cat and mouse here.
And you can see it's a tight field still, Milty. Top 10 separated by just 1 second after this restart, but it looks like the top 2 here have kind of settled in, and looks like Dan is content here to follow Ryan as long as he continues to do what he's doing.
Dan uses all of the track there, trying to save tires and widen those apexes as much as possible. A lot going on here. Plus he's losing a little aero. Right now he's got sweet tires here. He's got Matt Watkins looking on his inside. Check out his mirror there.
And we
he
see
backs off.
Speeds going into the turn backstretch there, Milty, at 181 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's not jump change.
Now Matt Watkins looking to the inside. He's going to make that move.
And he makes the pass.
And Dan slamming the door behind him, though. Ken Hansen had some ideas there, but no.
I mean, wow. Yeah.
Now Matt Watkins up into second. Now let's see what Dan does here, Milty. Will he try to challenge Matt, or will he try to just stay behind him now?
Well, in my experience, and the 1 or 2 times I beat Matt Watkins was to follow him, and then just try to do what he do. You know that he's always got that plan, which is the winning plan. The greatest of all time. He's won the most races. Him and Rick Johnson, obviously very, very close. The 2 greatest of all times, but no, I mean, instantly you got to see that. That's got to be your plan.
And Matt Watkins is trying to make that outside line work. And Jeff Hale coming out of nowhere, Milty. He's following Matt right to the front here.
Yeah, Jeff Hale has been doing some life here. Missed a few races, but we know what a stud he is.
Wow, what a battle here, Milty. Almost a 3-way battle for first.
You're distracted. You got to hit your marks, and you also got those guys behind you. You're watching them constantly. Look. You look on the straightaway, then pick your mark, focus, hit your marks, hit your exit mark. You see them out of your peripheral, too. Then on the straightaway, you actually look back in the mirror. Then once again, 3 and 4.
And you can see the battles,
and 1 and 2.
The battles going on throughout this field, not just at the front here, but we have a great battle between Ryan, Matt, and Dan. Looks like it's settled in now. Matt, again, Milty, that outside line just It's very difficult. Really difficult to make a pass there on a fast car. You know, someone's gonna give it to you. That's one thing. But
these cars do not have the horsepower to brute. You need help. It's all about aero draft, and even on the cookie cutters here, it's still like a super speedway. You need help, and you need to maximize the end of the runs and pit stops are where guys really make their hay.
I agree, and I think Matt is thinking the same thing. Stay in this lead group of cars. Stay within a couple tenths of the lead.
Running the high line, though, which there's less grip there, as we know. That's interesting. Maybe just kind of letting guys by, you know.
And now
he's back to the bottom.
Yeah, it looks like Dan rooted Ryan out of that inside line, Milty, and he has taken over the lead.
He's a hard charger. I mean, he's got serious skills. And
but Ken Hansen right there.
We would love to see this guy on the podium.
And Ken Hansen and Mark DeSenza now are our top three, Milty. So this is a ever-changing race here.
In the Wrangler number 6 Chevrolet. Who that, man?
Yeah,
Mark DeSenza, also one of the greatest guys and sim racers I've raced against in stock cars.
Now Ken Hansen looking to the inside of Dan, and it looked like he rooted him out as well, Milty. So it looks like as the tires are going away now on this run, harder and harder to keep that inside line. And
here come the jugs.
And now Ken, our leader, Mark DeSenza up to second, Sean Reap up to third. Battle by Slim and Dan now for fourth. And there's Matt Watkins.
Freight train on the bottom here.
And now it's all about managing your car here, Milty. You can't lose your focus when you see guys passing you. You got to accept that and take your medicine sometimes. And
we've seen the brute speed of the 27. Now this is some real racecraft here, and so far so good. He's being very patient, and
he's giving up.
Of course he's gotten caught up in some things that weren't his deal. So, but he's hung in there, and got to fall to the back right now.
Yeah, he just cannot find a spot to the inside.
There's no grip on the outside.
And too many cars to the inside that are getting good runs. And now Matt Watkins slowly getting by him, and Dan Jones looking to follow.
This is pro racing, man. Pro sim racing. These guys are going to give you an edge, you know.
And you know, Dan desperately trying to get back to that inside. Dan's trying
looking for it. He's looking for
it.
But
Dan show here.
Yep. That's good racing right there. You know how hard it is to gauge that.
Tough battling between the Dans.
Great.
Matt Watkins, Slim, and Mark DeSenza all
that's real close,
together here.
Matt Watkins all over the back of Slim Jim Gately. Obviously, stuff yourself into a Slim Jim. That car is.
He's Super Mario'd him right there.
Right
now. Like, he did a little leap there and gave him a little bump draft there, Milty, here in Texas. Now Slim taking a little higher line and saying, look, Matt, if you want to get by me, just say so. You don't have to bump me out of the way there, bro. And now Mark DeSenza having a little.
For years and years. They know each other. They know how aggressive. When Matt Watkins shows up, he shows up to win. That's it. And so does Slim Jim Gately. So this is going to be a battle. They're already. I bet you they're on their team channels going. Let's get some, man.
Yeah, and we went restart here, Milty, lap 15. So we're about 23 laps into this run. What are we looking at pit stops?
We're looking at 30 to 34.
Okay, so now if you're in this lead group of cars, you need to start thinking of getting in line, getting into that lower position, so you don't get caught out in the cold there when you want to pit. Ken Hansen continuing to lead. Sean in second.
How about that?
They tried to pull away while those guys
Taste
were all
the blue
fighting.
water.
But now Matt Watkins has established himself into third, and he's trying to run down the top two, trying to take Dan with him. Slim behind Dan, and then the other Dan, the 007 Dan Jones, and then Jeff Hale, Ryan Johnson, Mark DeSenza.
How about seeing that 9 car up in front? You know, he's done so much, you know, working on setups for this series, and has had some great podiums this year. And what would it be like to see that 9 car win this race? Long way to go.
Sean really filling up his mirror right now, Milty.
You know, the thing is about Sean Reap is he's got a commanding lead, but he raced like he raced, and that's why he has the lead. Because you look at that car control, he's inches away from the 9, all over his tailpipe, and he's, you know, this guy is that Alacrity Pontiac is
he's
just continues to amaze me.
Yeah, he's really on point this season. He's focused. He's just, you know, he's made
every race,
and you know what? He's made mistakes during these races, and he's overcome them by not letting them, you know, get to him. Keeps his focus and runs the smart race. And right now, he's right where he needs to be. He's P2. He's battling for the lead now as Ken pushes up a little high there, coming out of 4, Milty. And
the tires are going to start to go off here now. You look at the lap times. Best lap for Dan Irvine, 29.999. I mean 29.7. Last lap, 29.30.337. So you're talking almost a second there.
Yeah, and then we see the.
And they'll get one. It'll get worse every lap here from here on out.
Now we've seen in the past, Milty, guys not pitting with the lead group and then getting severely punished for their decision making. I said it before, and I was wrong, and I was surprised. I have to think whenever these leaders, let's say the top 5 decides to pit, if I'm in this group, I got to pit with them. I cannot go another lap and then pit.
Yeah, you have to pit with them and out execute them in the pits. With green flag racing like this, that's, you try to psychoanalyze these guys, you're going to lose.
As we go back through this lead
Keep
pack,
it simple.
Mark DeSenza trying to hang on to this lead group. And then a little further back, Rick Bisconner, Ken Sosko. We see Pops down low, Milty.
I really like tonight the
maybe
27 car.
The 99 already.
27 car has really got. He's got the grip on the front, and he is pitting.
Yes, he
27
is.
Dan
And a
Irvine.
bunch of cars are pitting here, Milty.
Whoa! And Pops almost hit him.
Mark DeSenza
Whoa,
in a
that
little
was
on the
a
grass.
flying entry for Dan Irvine.
Everyone down pit lane safely. No contact.
Oh.
Mark DeSenza
Wow.
fire onto the grass.
Way early here.
Trying to hit their marks. Well, not that early, Milty. I'd say about 32 laps. Mark DeSenza having to back. Oh, Mark in trouble here, Milty. He's got to back up multiple times to get into his pit stall. That's going to cost him dearly. Jeff Hale out, Slim out. Checking on Dan. Here comes Dan out.
4 tires for the Mountain Dew Chevrolet, and great entry exit.
Now we got to check for penalty. Oh, and Dan gets.
Oh, he gets sideways.
He got those full tires there.
Holy moly!
Great save there by Dan.
And
Jeff Hale loops it, Milty. And Jeff Hale loops it. And Ryan has nowhere to go and creams him.
Oh no,
man! I have to think the caution is out now, if it's not already. Yeah, caution is out. Oh man! Jeff Hale looped it, and Ryan coming around the corner
Yeah,
getting up
coming
to
out of the
speed,
pits. Yeah,
just
coming out of
nowhere
the
to
pits
go.
too.
And that was a hard hit right there, Milty.
That's so rare for the 29, and that just shows you how hard pro sim racing is. It's one mistake, and you're the goat,
And I don't.
and that's not the greatest of all time. That's the goat.
Lap
Oh my
48.
God!
I don't know what the pit stop cycle was like as well, Milty. So this is going to be very interesting. Looking at the running order, Sean Reap, our
Yeah,
leader.
cars that were still out could get a lap on these guys. Change the whole
Yeah,
dynamic of this.
there's guys passing the pace car. This can be a very confusing time for these drivers. Sometimes your spotter gives you kind of
And
mixed messages.
they're also on TeamSpeak talking to each other. My spotter's telling me this that we're gonna just have to wait to see how this pans out.
Yeah, now what it looks like to me is Mark DeSenza and on back that were on the lead lap have managed to stay on the lead lap, Milty. They were almost a lap down there, but the caution came out, saving them from that disaster. Mark DeSenza with a disastrous pit stop. So that's a new lease on life for the 6 car.
Absolutely, you need those sometimes.
And boy,
Can't be
that,
perfect all the time.
so Mark, I'm sure, taking a nice deep breath, saying, "Okay, I'm still in the game here. No harm, no foul." Sean appears to be our leader. Matt Watkins second, Ken Hansen third, Dan Jones fourth, and Dan Irvine fifth. Dan with a great pit stop there, Milty, as you said, in that Mountain Dew ride, in and out quickly. And without that
On a
caution,
beat.
I think that would have really benefited him to pull away from some of the field. But now with this caution, we're bunched right back
Yeah, I
up.
mean that's how it goes, and he ends up, he should be in P1 with that stop, but not to be.
Lights still on the pace
Regroup.
car.
We're starting to see what he can do, and the first few broadcasts where he has run, every time I said that, it was the kiss of death, the broadcaster jinx. But you're starting to see the skills of Dan Irvine, 27, can roll.
Yeah, there's no doubt he has the skill to win these races. Lights remain on the pace car, so a couple more laps under caution here. Lap 51 of
Good time
134.
for a pit stop for Uncle Melty here, sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers.
So our running order there in the top right corner of your screen. Lap 51 of 134 here at FSBRacing.com. Winston Cup Friday night action here from Texas Motor Speedway. Our points leader, Sean Reed, is our leader of the race. Matt Watkins second, Ken Hansen third, Dan Jones fourth, and Dan Irvine rounding out our top 5 so far. Just fresh off of a green flag stop that right toward the end of the sequence, Jeff Hale looped the car on the cold tires coming out up to speed. Then Ryan, who was a leader earlier, now back into the 10th position, just came around the corner and Jeff was just stopped right there. No fault of either of them really, and unfortunately Jeff took a hard hit there out of the race. Ryan has to have some damage. Hopefully his crew can get some of that fixed, and we'll see how competitive Ryan is. That's a shame. Ryan led some laps, Milty, and you were saying earlier, you felt he was really due for one here. Also saw Matt Watkins elect to come down pit lane, and they're getting tires and fuel. So Matt Watkins may be using a little strategy here with the uh, longer than a normal caution period, and you see he got loose. Boy, these cars with cold tires there, that's something to keep an eye on if we do have another set of green flag stops there. Guys coming out of the pits there, as they start accelerating, the car just wants to come right around on them.
Yeah, we've seen that come out of the pits. All these cookie cutter, 1.5 mile tracks are, treacherous pit entrance and exit. But we've seen some serious pros, make mistakes tonight, and they're probably going, "Oh my God, I can't believe I did that," but it happens,
And we get a restart here at lap 53.
If you're the 9 car, Ken Hansen, you got to feel real good. You got to feel some power, and that doesn't mean running up there and
oh man,
Dean Cotra almost got in the back.
Yeah, it looks like the 101 car almost came to a stop there in the corner, and Dean.
And he's loose in front of him. Dean tries to save it, and Dean does save it.
Yeah, that 101 car
Jeff
really
Havoc,
there, Milton.
Yeah, Jeff Havoc got loose right on the start there.
You see Matt Watkins.
That was a great save by
the 62
Dean.
is into the wall here. Something happened to Sean Reap here, Milty. Let's see what happened here as we were keeping an eye on that. Looks like Sean here in the second position. In contact with the 27 car, and the way he went doesn't maybe look like he hit too hard, so looks like he'll be able to maybe address those issues and keep in the race here, Milty. But contact between the 27 and 62 there in that dog leg area.
Yeah, Dan thought, I think Don thought he was clear there, and looks like he pushed up to Sean Reap there.
Yeah, that's a tricky section to run side by side, Milty, with the way those kinks are there. It really wants to throw you to the outside wall. Pace car catching the field. I believe Ken Hansen is our leader, Milty. So Sean's misfortune here, Ken's gain. Now, what about pit stops? We see Ken has elected to stay out. Mark DeSenza coming down.
I would stay out right now. Just a few laps. There's no distinct window to look at as far as pit stops. Your track position.
Keep an eye on the 62 car as he makes it down pit lane, Milty. Obviously, he's going to want 4 freshies. But also the crew will have a chance to take a look at that car and see if there's any body damage to it that he can bang out. See our top 4 there all pitting. Mark DeSenza, Slim also in and out already.
Yeah, Matt Watkins pitting Ryan Johnson. Really didn't look like any fixing for the 62 there. Either he didn't get that fixed, which would be unlikely. He's a smart guy, and at this point, with still on the lead lap, he would have gotten that fixed. So I think he dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, possibly so. As we work our way back to the
Dan Irvine did have some work done there, so
yeah, it definitely
damage
like
for the 27
had a longer stop. I don't know if that was for damage repair or not, but so Ken Hansen, our leader, Dan Jones second, Rick Bisconner up to third, and the 07 car Ken Soska fourth. Martisen's a 5th.
Also, looking at winning this championship, the 43, we have not even spoken about him yet. Quietly has stayed in the back and chilled, and that's time to go.
Yeah, he's right in the thick of things. Clean car. Not quite to the halfway point of this race, Milty. Just lap 57.
Vaughn, James Vaughn.
And confidence breeds confidence. And Dan Jones, coming off a Talladega win a couple weeks ago, is using that. And
a great win. Inches. Less than inches. Victory.
Yeah, so if you're a 27 car now, Milty, with that little bump there, see, that's sometimes a tough one while you're racing to consider. You know, is that on me? Was that him? Was it a racing deal? So now something comes into your mind. This is where Dan's going to be tested, Milty. Can he keep his focus now to run a clean rest of the way and still be fast and competitive like he was in the first half?
Well,
some
FSB
here on
rules
pit lane here.
apply.
Rick Bisconner struggling to get into the pit here, Milty. It's going to cost him position with Dan Jones.
Well, that's the thing. When you qualify in front of somebody and then your track position changes, you have to go around them, and that's not easy as it looks.
Lights are out on the pace car down the back stretch here, so we will be going back to green flag racing momentarily.
Well, Dan Irvine, this is what I would do, and that's, think in my mind, I had the speed, I have the speed, but now I need to, work the rest of this race here, and there's going to be several more stops here. Passing's very difficult unless people make mistakes. Track position is huge. So, we have to execute from here on out.
And the green flag out. Ken Hansen gets off to a great start there. And we see Dean there down onto the apron. Car very loose. Oh, and the 101 off the wall there. Bounced right off the outside wall.
It's issues for Jeff Havoc in the 101, definitely.
That had to make Matt Watkins' heart race there, Milty, as the car banged off the wall and then came right down the track right in front of Matt Watkins. He was able to hold on to it, though, there, but he's still struggling to let guys by here. The car has to be a little hurt from that hit. Now Dan Irvine trying to safely get by him. And there's our points leader, Sean Reed, Brian Johnson, Dan Jones, all guys who pitted late there, and there's Rick Bisconner as well.
Well, Jeff has taken on sim racing, but this guy takes on like massive towers. I mean, his job is so stressful. To me, I would think that sim racing is nothing compared to the stress he does in real life, and you gotta see the stuff that he climbs on Facebook. Incredible, but sim racing is these guys are pro. This is a pro. This is a pro league, so and he's hanging in there and learning and showing up on Friday nights on the broadcast, and that takes huevos there, So
Yeah, yeah.
hats off to him, man. But these guys are studs here.
Yeah,
You learn one race at a time and one mistake at a time. In my racing career, I've won a few races in FSB racing. But I've lost like 10 times as much. So
yeah, and right now the '07 car is sitting in second position, Milty. So great run by our admin, Ken Saska. Mark
we
DeSenza,
haven't mentioned
though,
him
really
either.
pressing him hard and pops there one lap down. Competitive speed-wise here, Milty. So he's staying right with our leader here. So it's making it difficult for Ken here with Mark DeSenza just breathing down his neck.
Well, you also, you can't spend that much time. Let's go with some in-car here and see what this guy's. Hold on a minute here. We got some serious stuff here, but yeah, let's go a little in-car and see what these guys are seeing. Can't get wrapped up in what's behind you, but at the same time, you got to know what's behind you. You'll have to hit your marks, and it's just like on the freeway. You got to expect those people to stay in their lane, but at the same time, you got to assume they're not going to.
Oh, and someone's sliding up into the wall there. Caution out. Couldn't quite see who that was, Milty, but a car definitely around into the wall. That looks like it's the 060 car, Dean Gautreau.
The LSU Tigers car. That's a hard lick right there.
Yeah, that's a hard driver side hit, Milty. Contact with him and Slim there in the corner, and when you're on the outside and you get that contact in the corner, you usually come out the loser, Milty. But caution is out.
Wow, that's a hard one to call there. They've just moved up about 2 feet, but at the same time, Dean was really around that inside line or that outside line. So, but contact by the contactor that's probably on Slim there. Unfortunately for him.
Yeah, those are tough calls that will be made at a later time by the admin group.
Absolutely, yeah.
As they look at these incidents.
But we look at this like drivers, because when you're a driver in these races and you get in that contact, you got to try to figure, because you get to FSB rules, apply, which is 2 incidents you park it. So these guys got that on their mind too. Definitely, we don't make calls here. Just see what we think we see. Pit road, major stop here. Once again, Ryan Johnson really has to get around the 27 there. Very tough. He's going to lose some spots. Oh, and wow. Very close on pit road. Cotro has retired, looks like. He's parked the 060 car. Oh, the LSU Tigers, but not their night tonight. Wow, look at that pit road. Good thing that flag man's not real because he just got hammered right there.
And we're slowly closing in on the halfway point of this race finally. Slowed by these cautions now, and you know, it's when you take a look at some of these cautions, Milty, you always can, you know, what we call like Monday morning quarterback it, you know,
Yeah,
say,
coulda, shoulda, woulda.
well, if he would have just lifted a little there, or if he would have just been, you know, held his line a little longer, or blah blah blah. But
That's why
like
I
you
love
said,
those in-car feeds. You know, when we show in-car, that's what they're actually seeing. You know, I mean, and it's not very much. And you know, you say simulating 180 miles an hour, but you know, it's like flicking a fly off the top of your steering wheel. Uh, I mean, those braking, you know, lift points, braking points, distances between the cars are that critical. One little move and you're like, oh my, and it's over.
yeah, it can happen that
You're
quick.
spinning around, bam, bam, bam. You're flipping and crashing, and that's it, you know.
Yeah,
You know what it must be like for real people, you know, real drivers. You know, I mean, it's pretty intense for us pretenders.
our leaders coming down pit lane here, lap 69 going to 70. So beyond now the halfway point of the race, Milty. 64 laps remaining.
You know, Jinx, you know, I think every time I said something good about the 27 car, I've jinxed them. And great job waiting and getting into pit road. And Ryan Johnson again having a hard Bednels, and they can't hit their stalls. Wow,
Yeah,
that
pretty messy there with guys doing fuel only as the field was still coming into the
but
pit.
they were all doing it, yeah.
And,
Not the room you have like at Indy or some of these other tracks. Those pit road stalls are very much shorter. Look, this cat and mouse though, these guys are pros, man. They're trying to get every inch, and man, execution is that's what wins these races. Because they're all so good, you see how hard it is to pass. These are the times that separates the men from the boys. The lineup is all jacked up there, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, pace car.
Who leading? The heck if I know.
Pace car is off. Oh, and there's contact with Matt Watkins against Saska to start the restart there.
Come on, son, get going here. Don't you know who I am behind you?
Wow, that could have been a disaster, Milty. But now Ken gets going.
I think Ken spun the tires there on the exit.
Oh, and the car is not acting right for him right now, Milty.
He's straight up spun the tires coming out of that.
And Matt Watkins taking the lead now. Wow, that could have been a crazy restart. Rest of the field just coming to stack up in.
Gosh darn! I mean, I know what it's like to have that 15 behind you, and it is not. There's no good in it.
Yeah, now Pops.
It's all bad.
In the aftermath of that, Pops was able to get back onto the lead lap here, Milty, momentarily.
That's what he needs. He needs a caution here now. He's still racing for a championship. He's fourth in points right now. About 20 some odd points back, but you know, Cub Woolley, he's going to make these races and really wants a podium in this series. A former champion, by the way, in the Winston Cup, Pops Marks in '99.
Yeah, so he, let's make it official here. Yeah, he's officially in 11th place on the lead lap. Matt Watkins, our leader, right behind him. Ken Soska settling into second place now after that maybe heart-pounding restart. Ken Hansen third, Mark DeSenza fourth, Slim into fifth, Sean Reap, Dan Jones, Dan Irvine, all there.
Dan Irvine's still real racy, but he's really shown me he's got all the, getting caught up in the early wrecks. He's never got to show what he can do, pit stops, and he's got all the tools.
Yeah,
Ken Hansen outside,
Yeah,
he's getting past that course forward.
Yeah, it's you've seen it time and time again tonight. You get kind of shuffled to the outside, and these guys just line up on the inside and all go around you.
Just can't wool your way around. These guys are pros, and this is draft-dependent racing and tire-dependent racing. This is a cat and mouse game here that
wow, a little
is
bumper
not
action there
easy.
with Dan and Ken Soska in the turn there. Looked like Ken maybe had to get off the gas, got a little loose. Dan Jones into the back of him slightly. No harm, no foul to either car, but it did cost Dan a position. And now it might cost Ken a position with Slim all over the back bumper. Almost contact there again, Milty. As they try to cut that corner in the dog leg there, Milty. We've seen some tricky situations there with guys trying to establish that inside position there.
Just don't have much visual acuities or something you can look at. You have to do it by feel, and especially when you're right on the tailpipe of the car in front of you. Let's go in car here a minute and see what these guys see, because you don't see nothing.
Come back in here with the 07 car. You see Slim right on his back bumper. Mark DeSenza right ahead of him. Slim gets out of shape there, almost contact, Milty. And Dan had to take evasive action behind him.
Yeah, you got that guy behind you, you got the guy in front of you, and that deck lid.
Looks to me that Slim does have the faster car right now, Milty. He's just got to show a little patience here, trying to work his way around Ken. He's pressing the issue, and there's been a little contact between them.
Trying to show him that I do have the faster car. You need to get out of my way, but there's nowhere for Ken to go.
Yeah, and he's battling Mark DeSenza for the position ahead of him as well. So certainly Ken not slowing the field down by any means. Battling Mark DeSenza here for the second and third positions.
Well, Slim knows about patience, and he also knows he's showing his nose a little bit.
Working the outside here, Milty.
Right now. He's forcing Ken down low. He's getting draft from the outside. Yeah. The caution is out. Caution is out.
Yeah, caution is out. Looks like they did cross the line there under
That's
caution.
what the driver sees. You want to play NASCAR 2003, you want to race at FSB that's the fun stuff you get to see from your cockpit.
And I think the good news there, Milty, is Pops will get his lap back. Not sure what the incident was.
Take a look at that.
It looks like the 27 car, Milty, is out of the race, along with the 007.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll try to look back on that here. Oh, wow. No. Wow, Milty. As they went into the corner.
Oh, boy, Rick Pisconer got in the back of him. That was a...
No,
we're going to get an in-car of the 007 car. James Bond was upside down there.
Yeah, it looks like the 27 got into the back of the '07 car right there, Milty. Hard to tell from this angle. Maybe.
It looks like you got the back of the 007. James, are you okay?
And around, and boy, was that a hit. Let's take a look at that.
That's from different angles here.
Yeah,
The angle of the dangle is definitely going to show some stuff here.
And you can
oh
see.
My gosh.
Rick
I'm going to throw up.
Rick launched the 27 into the 007, and Dan went for a ride on his side and his roof on top of the hood of the 27 car. For
this car had nothing he could do there.
Yeah, and the 007
Probably not much damage for the 43.
Doing a death slide.
Oh, where's my lunch?
Yeah, and we'll ride with Dan here as we see how fast it can happen here, Milty. We'll just play it at full speed, and you can see just instantly it's going from everything's okay to you're dead.
Yeah, you think you can miss this? Good luck. There we go.
And the eerie silence at the end.
I'm upside down. Mother. And I'm still upside down.
Back live to the survivors. And we're on lap 83 now.
Oh my gosh.
34.
Ding-a-ling-ding. Ring-a-ling-ding. Let's reset. Who dat?
Matt Watkins leader. Mark DeSenza second. Slim in third. Sean in fourth. Ken Soska fifth. Ken Hansen sixth. Ryan seventh. Pops, fresh off getting his lap back, eighth. And the 43 now, the 43 was involved in that last incident, Milty. You think maybe he dodged the bullet there, so we'll keep an eye on him. But he's the last car on the lead lap, only 9 cars on the lead lap now.
Definitely contact for him, but usually in this simulation, that kind of contact should be minimal.
Now Watkins our leader.
It's going to hurt him on being able to pass. He's going to have to definitely going to lose some straightaway speed.
And we're about 50 laps to go here, Milty. So if we did happen to stay green, one more stop will have to be made.
Look at this row of studs here. The GOAT, Matt Watkins, the Rocket, also multiple, that's D-Rocket right there. Mark DeSenza. Feeling like a villain. Who dat in that 6 Camaro?
Yeah, Mark and Matt very familiar with each other throughout the years of racing.
Jim Gately, well, that's the man there. And the points leader, Sean Reap in P4. Get some. These other players here, Ken Hansen.
Yeah, Ken's showing some speed early, led lap.
Podiums this year, but I think he really wants a W here, and he has a. These guys, as we go green here, these guys are so fast. Gotta execute.
Matt Watkins leads him back to the green. Mark descends a second. Ken Hansen battling Ken Soska and Ryan Johnson back here for top 5 positions. Sean Reap in 4th. Keeping that car clean. Not been easy in this race for some drivers. And also, Milty, from that earlier incident, maybe Slim driving with 1 on his belt here, so has to keep the car clean with maybe some battles to come here. He's got to keep that in mind as well.
Well, I've been in that situation before, where I'm pretty sure I had one incident, and sometimes it works in your favor because you back it off a little bit. He knows how this rolls, so sometimes it gets you in that just right frame of mind where you let the race come to you, and that's when you got these cars this close. It's all about execution, you know.
And we see our top 6 here.
Ken Soska, he knows this. We've talked a lot about it, and he got him a win, and wants to get him another one here, and he's right in that. He's sitting there right now going, I'm sitting on a sack of seeds right now, just gotta chill. And
yeah, still one more stop to make.
Yep.
Don't make a mistake. Hit your marks. Get in and out of the pits if it stays green. With a few less cars now running on the track, Milty, we could easily see a run to green all the way to the checkers now, with about 45 laps remaining. Something in the mind of these guys: when do I stop? If you're, in this group of cars, you could cut it in half, Milty. We went green right about 50 to go. So you could run a 25 and a 25 easily with these cars.
Well, you and I both have done long distance racing and hitting that seat for a long time, and this race has been going on a while. You have to maintain your focus, your comfort level. But mostly, all of it is about your focus,
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta continue to hit your marks, hit your corner marks every lap.
Every single time.
You see Mark there, a little apron that got the car a little out of shape. We'll see if you can see the guys right behind Mark, Slim, Sean, Ken, and the Kens. They're right there. They're going to capitalize on any bobbles or mistakes that these leaders make.
Yeah, little minor contact with the 25 Slim Jim. Haley, step yourself into a Slim Jim. Doesn't look like it's bothered that car, and he's got mojo.
And the 62 keeps sliding out of line there just to give Slim something to look at, I think, Milty. But I don't think Sean has any intentions right now of making any moves. I think he's content to keep guys.
Oh boy!
The guys that matter in front, that are trying to chase him down. He can maintain that pretty well right now.
Well, you're sniffing, and you're also, like we saw in the in-car footage, you're looking at, you're letting that guy know, you know what he sees, you see it straight behind you. I'm here, I'm moving left, I'm moving right, you're just trying to distract him a little bit. And also hit your marks and keep an eye on the guy behind you. So, a lot going on in that cockpit right now.
Yeah, and we see it has kind of settled into a single file running order here for about the first 10 laps of this restart. Matt Watkins our leader, Mark DeSenza second, Slim third, Sean fourth, the Kens fifth and sixth, Soska and Hansen, no relation. Just share
Well,
first name.
well, we get back to your question earlier, which is, do you break this in half for pit stops? Maybe you do. It's not Daytona, but it's still draft dependent. You're looking at a pack of 6 cars that can win this race.
Yeah, it's all going to be the pit stop now, Milky.
You need to get with at least 3 of them, you know.
And we've seen it time and time again this season. These final pit stops can make or break you in a big way. I just don't see going those extra laps, especially in this situation, Milty.
I agree. Yes.
If I'm not Matt Watkins, I'm waiting to see Matt Watkins signal that he's pitting, and I'm just going to follow him right in. And I hope I can out-execute him and get out in front of him for the final run to the checkers.
Well, your important cues here are you get 2 tires, no tires, fuel only.
Boy, I don't know if I could take no tires and go 50 laps here, Milty. If I manage my tires, maybe I'll think of the 2 right sides, but man.
It's just not really doable in the long run, yep. Obviously, if caution comes out now, it's a no-brainer.
Right, they would probably, by the time a restart would have happened, they would be inside the fuel window most likely. So, working lap 100 now, going on 101 of 134. Matt Watkins, our leader, preparing for final stops.
Window, yeah.
If we're looking at it, they started with about 50 to go, Milty. So, if we're going to do that halfway thing, we would see about lap 109 or so, maybe some signaling. Now, the opposite here, Milty. If I'm Ken Hansen right now in the back of this lead pack, I'm keeping up. I'm not losing ground too much here. Do I try to pit early and see if that helps me as these guys continue to turn laps maybe a little slower?
I really don't think that's going to help you, you know. I mean, the thing is draft is the, you know, I mean, you can't maintain that speed that they're running right now. You look at their lap times are, you know, within 3-4 tenths of a second what they were running, so can't do that, you know. By yourself, you're not going to make that lap time. You got to have at least 1 or 2 guys go with you.
We see this kind of lead pack has now kind of splintered into 2 groups of 3, Milty. Be interesting to see if that back 3 group tries to work together and maybe try to outpit the lead group there. 104, so about 30 laps to go as they come around here, Milty. So definitely inside a fuel window now.
I think that's the plan. I mean, that would be the plan that you would have to make here now, because you're losing ground and you're also you can gain huge track position.
Back of this pack here. So Sean from 4th to 6th. Watkins, Mark DeSenza, and Slim. So
What happened here?
some heavy veteran drivers here in the top three, Milty. These three have run probably hundreds of races against each other through the years. And then we got Ken Soska, Ken Hansen, and Sean Reap. This second group of three here, but very disorganized right now, and something going on with Sean's car. He seems to be falling off the pace here. Don't know if something is amiss with his car now or what, but he's kind of falling off the pace of the Kens. We're desperately trying to hold on, Milty. They're about a second pack from Slim. So what's our draft window here, Milty? They're about a second back.
It's 1.5 seconds max, but I think the 07 is struggling, and he's definitely might be slowing this group down behind him. And Hansen wants to get by, and now it's down to a 3 against 2, and those leaders are pounding them right now.
Yeah, and they've lost another about a little more than a tenth of a second that lap, so it went to 1.1 seconds and 1.2 seconds, Milty. So yeah, they need to get back, stay together, and see if they can stay within that second and a half precious window here, or the race could be in jeopardy here.
Well, they're not teammates, but they are on the open channel, and that you can jump back and forth. You might start to think about pitting early before these leaders.
And now we're at that 25 to go, Milty, which is about halfway through. Maybe they could run about another 10 laps max before they would have to pit for fuel. Or does Matt and Mark and Slim run this tank out, Milty, and just pit when they got to?
Well, the top 3 have to. That's pretty much your. Slim's going back a little. That may be the result of some damage early. Finally showing, and he's struggling to keep up with those leaders.
Yeah, when the tire wear shows up, sometimes the damage gets more enhanced.
Absolutely.
And we can see now the Kens are now about 1.34 seconds back, Milty. So they're desperately trying to hang on to Slim, who's desperately trying to hang on to Matt and Mark.
And thing is Ken Hansen is showing like, I want to get by you, and
yeah, you know, the communication may not be there. Sometimes that's difficult, but they continue to run together.
He's got a faster car, I think, than Ken Soska,
Yeah, and sometimes you can get that faster car to pull you along.
And you get the draft car of Jeff Havoc,
And there we see side by side now Ken Hansen to the inside. So Ken will get that position now, Milty. We got about 22 laps to go. And I would say maybe 6 or 7 laps before a pit stop would be needed for fuel here. Watching Matt Watkins, Mark DeSenza, 1-2. Slim, I believe, is pitted, Milty. So Slim is
Brian
in.
would say, them there are studs.
Matt Watkins and Mark DeSenza in, and Ken Soska in.
Yeah, I think that's the right move for them.
Looks like Ken
They
Hansen
can
elected to stay out.
They can make lap time here.
Mark in, Ken in.
The leader saw that and
and Ken has to back up, Milty.
So.
And Ken missing his pit stall, and he's in trouble, and he's still not pitted, Milty. So Ken Soska will be out of the race now as far as any kind of top 3 finish is concerned.
Slim Jim stays out.
Matt and Mark in and out cleanly. Ryan Johnson in, Ken Hansen in now, Milty. So now Ken Hansen, let's see if him staying out a lap, if that helped or hurt.
Slim is just bleeding right now. He needs a caution.
And Ken out. Cold tires here, very treacherous. And you can see the cars breaking loose on him, Milty. Man, it's treacherous. And Matt Watkins zooms by along with Slim and Mark DeSenza.
That's like off camera right there. I know. Coming on, I mean, the car just cold tires, off camber.
Well, Slim made the move of the race there, Milty.
Bad.
And he's right on the back bumper of Matt Watkins. Remember, he fell off of that group, Milty, right at the end. He pitted early, and now he's right in the thick of things. Great job by Slim.
How about the master there?
And a great job by Ken Hansen, Milty. Got in and out, and he's in 4th. Really didn't lose any time to the leaders. But he'll definitely need a caution to get back competitive. Looks like the race will be amongst this top 3. As we get to 15 to go here, Milty. Now, if you're in this league group, if you're Slim Jim, Milty, do you try to make a quick move here if you see it, or do you ride behind Matt Watkins and just try to press the issue with him?
You gotta figure he has a little bit of damage, you know.
Car looks really good, looks really fast as well.
It does.
Right on the back bumper of Matt Watkins. We can see Slim's last lap, a 29.84 is best, a 29.50, so just a few tenths off his fastest lap of the race right now. Well into, what, 120 laps into the race here.
Well, these guys have raced for years, in this league for years, and before. They know each other real well. They know they're both bulldogs, and it's going to be a battle right here. And there's that 6 car creeping up.
Yeah, we got a 3-car battle here for the win. Matt Watkins leading. Slim in 2nd. Mark DeSenza 3rd. 5 seconds clear of 4th place.
Got to be mindful of your tires still. Can't, you know, explode right now. You got to do it at the right time, man.
Closing in on 10 to go. No.
Well, you know, that guy in front.
Matt Watkins really hit those marks well so far.
He's pretty good. The winningest driver at FSB of all time. That's Matt Watkins. What these guys gonna do? Yeah, well, you don't like him behind you. You don't like him in front of you. It's just all bad.
Well, Slim is really staying in his tire tracks, really just running the almost identical lines here, and he's just not losing. He's really not allowing Matt to get comfortable at all here. Sometimes he breathes that car out to the inside like he just did there, Milty, just to give Matt a little look-see of the car, let him know that he's right there on him.
Well, and you got Slim in third there, so. Mark is in third, so.
Yeah, where will Mark go? If Slim makes a move, will he go with Slim?
He's gonna go with the guy that's trying to make the move. I mean, that's what I would do. You're gonna be third. You know, you're gonna be on the podium. Let's try to win this thing.
Yeah, these cars look extremely evenly matched right now as we get 9 to go.
Once again, you see these master drivers really execute at money crunch time, and that's what it's all about. It's a long sit in the seat, and you have to keep that focus, and these guys are living testament to that. Coming up on 7 to go.
And Slim's
got
car
fuel,
really
you got
good,
tires.
Milky.
It's all about this is a battle right here.
Both Slim and Mark DeSenza's cars look very fast, very capable.
They're waiting,
of making that move.
They're Matt knows they're gonna bail on him. Matt showed up out the blue, and these guys are racing for points here. They're gonna try to dog him. You know, there's no way they're not going to do that. They're not going to sit there and finish. Noah's Ark there. Let's get some. FSBRacing.com.
Yeah, 50-lap run here from our last restart to the checkers. And we're closing in on it with 5 to go.
It's so hard because at this pace and drafting and following.
Working some live traffic now. That's always something to think about.
Jeff Hammock out on the outside there, letting them by like he should.
Just waiting to see if Slim's gonna make a move here, Milty. Matt Watkins just driving.
It's so hard. I mean, look, he hasn't bobbled.
Milty.
Yeah,
he has not
no
bobbled.
mistakes.
He's really working that inside lane as well. On the front stretch where we saw Slim making some hay earlier on drivers. Matt maybe observed that.
Now it's go time now.
I'm going to take that right away from you, Slim. You're not going to get that line on me.
Anxiety levels raising here. Well, what are we going to do?
If you're Matt Watkins here,
we got 2 against 1.
If you're the leader here, Milty, are you just driving out your front window and that's it?
Absolutely. You have to nail your marks. You have to. You have to defend low like he's doing, and not worry about what they're doing. You're getting a draft push behind them, so you can't worry about that. Especially at Charlotte, you know, if it was Daytona or a track where the outside line could really work,
look like
then you'd be worried.
Looked like Slim backed off just a little, Milty, trying to get maybe one last run.
That's what they do. They back off and then work in tandem, and
we're about to get the white flag here.
There we go.
White flag is out.
That Matt Watkins Florida's
It
just
looks like Matt.
way too
Yeah,
strong, man.
he looked like he just kicked it into another gear here, Milty, with a
Oh,
couple
he's
to
got
go.
nothing to lose, and they do, and he just executed that corner flawless.
Yeah, and no margin for error for Matt
Wow,
Watkins. It doesn't matter. Checkered flag out. Matt Watkins is the
wow.
winner. Slim second. Mark DeSenza third. Ken Hansen bringing it home in fourth, Milty. Quality run for
Great
Ken.
run for Ken.
Sean Reap. Something went happening with him,
A
Milty. He
muck.
was,
Yeah,
yeah,
something in the
I'm
muck
not
there.
sure there, but he'll finish fifth and another top five for Sean Reap. 07 car, Ken Hansen bringing it home in sixth. And there's our race winner, Matt Watkins.
This guy,
Yeah,
man, he is
been
so good. I mean, he made him look bad. I mean, wow. I mean,
it's
wow.
actually, believe it or not, Milty, it has been a little bit since Matt has joined us in the broadcast booth.
It has.
Couple races that we have broadcasted, he has not finished on the podium. A couple of contacts battling for leads and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
It's
a bad
not
maybe
easy.
some bad strategy in one contest there took him out of contention as well.
But he's smoking them up right now.
I'll have to break out the lazy boy that we kept here for so many years for him. It's in the closet here. I'll drag it out before he gets up here. Yeah, he's tearing up those tires right now.
Well, that was vintage Matt Watkins right there.
And congratulations to Matt, Slim, and Mark, our podium.
I'm sure there's,
Mount Rushmore type drivers here for FSB on the
absolutely.
podium this week, Milty. So
That's
why don't you go down there and
that's a
gather
stud.
them up?
That's a stud, and that's a stud. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Milty is going to go gather them up. Matt Watkins with a second half performance here in this race really took over the race and just no mistakes at the front for Matt Watkins. Slim with a great strategy at the end, pitted off of the main pack, came back out strongly in second and just stayed on Matt's bumper right until the end there with a couple laps to go. Matt just seemed to kick it into another gear and comfortably wins by a few tenths of a second there over Slim and Mark DeSenza, with both battled all from the back there for Slim and Mark DeSenza, battling all the way back up to the podium. So great job by both of them. Ken Hansen with another solid run to this week. And Sean Reap, our points leader, safely home in fifth. He'll grab his points and move on to the next race. Yeah, and you just watch some great racing here, FSBRacing.com. Winston Cup Friday nights. It's what we do here. And Matt Watkins put on a great show, holding off Slim and Mark DeSenza for the win. And we're gathering up our podium finishers to have a quick chat with them, and then call it a night. and it looks like we're slowly rounding up our podium finishers. And I think we got them all now safely in the booth here. I brushed off Matt's lazy boy from some years past. It's all clean and Febreze for you, Matt. And congratulations. Welcome back to the booth. And great win. Great battle with those 50 final laps there, Matt. Slim really took some paint off the back bumper. He was so close, it looked like at times. But you held him off there for a good win there. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've won a Winston Cup race, so it was fun battling those guys again. I always have a ton of fun racing Slim, Mark, Sean, all those guys up there. That was super fun. Yeah, I think Slim was missing just a little bit from that wreck. If he didn't, I think he would have had something for me. He was really fast. Mark was fast, so just come down to having good pit stops and getting out front and just holding them off. That was a fun race, though.
Yeah, of all the championships you won, and it was like, wow, there he is. And, but Slim definitely had something for you there, but not quite enough.
Yeah, Slim, so make it official, Slim. Was the car a little wounded there from the earlier incident?
Well, I wouldn't say it was wounded enough to make it as an excuse, but I mean, it was just a tick off right in the center of the turn, and that's what was killing me. And it was kind of eating my right front up just a little bit, so I kind of fell off toward the end of the runs with those guys. But yeah, all I could do was get to Matt's bumper, and toward the end, it was all I could do, I think, to hold Mark off. I think he was chomping at the bits to get by me.
Yeah,
Well,
tight.
Being able to pass on the outside 2 against 1, we were wondering if that was even possible.
Well, we had no communication with each other, so as sure as I went high, Mark would have just ducked underneath me. So that's why I stayed where I was.
Yeah, Mark, and solid run for you as well, Mark, and that last run as well. What were you thinking there? Was it trying to push Slim past Matt, or just trying to take that second position?
Whichever came first. I knew when Slim beat me out of pits, he had some damage, but he still was fast enough there at the end. I would have liked a shot at Watkins. I don't think I could have got him, but Slim was running fast enough where for me to even try to take a shot at it. I mean, I didn't want to take him out or anything, but he still was running good enough where there's not really much I could do. Every time I got a run, I pushed, or he didn't really make too many mistakes. So, but he was running fast enough, and that's about all I could have done.
Yeah, Matt. I mean, that was textbook, old school goat run there. I mean, once you dialed in the lead, you were just on rails there. They would have had to pull a rabbit out of their hat, definitely.
Yeah, I figured once I had a pretty good stop, got to the lead, I'd be in pretty decent shape, hopefully. If it's been really tough passing the outside. It's this track, still for the most part, it's single groove. So yeah, it would have been tough to pass on the outside. I figure if I just got just good enough in the corner, I might be okay. And just didn't try not to make any mistakes. Pit road, I was coming in like 46, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get busted. But I backed it down to 43. I think I equalized it enough. So just didn't make any mistakes, and you gotta be really perfect to beat those guys. They're really, really good. So you make a mistake, and they would pounce.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Matt, early on in the race, starting on the pole, don't know if you got shuffled back or if you elected to head back. Were you finding that was the racing just a little too hard and intense for your taste at that time?
Yeah, I was just trying to take it easy. At the start, I thought it might somehow be a fuel mileage race. So I just tried to save a little bit of fuel and save tires, and then once I got on the outside, I just kind of took it easy up there until I got to the back and just rode around. It was a long race, so yeah, I was just being patient the first half, taking my time, but once we got down to it, then I was like, well, it's time to go, and I went.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes it sound so easy, Milty.
Yeah,
So
well,
I've
we all know here sitting in the booth
man,
here.
I've,
That's how you do.
I can't tell you how many times I've used that strategy. I'll hang back in the first half, then I'll do something in the second half, and then come the second half, I'm still hanging back for some reason. Guess I can't get that second part down, Milty.
Well, you want to beat the best, but if you lose, you want to lose against the best. So, like these guys in the booth here tonight, they're definitely glad he showed up to run and test their skills, but when you do get to beat them, I mean, it's pretty rare. It makes your day, for sure.
I was telling Matt a while ago, it's been a long time since I ran next to him up front like that. A very long time. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, in the broadcast I was talking about, you guys have got a long, great friendship and history, battling for victories, so.
Watkins always finishes in front of me.
He's bad about that.
Something like that.
I was gonna try to get you, Slim, but I figured I'd try to pass you how you would pass me, and there was a chance I'd take you out. I wasn't gonna do it.
They're not playing the violin for you.
The thought crossed my mind, Mark, to move over and let you by, but the racer in me couldn't do it.
I was throwing $100 bills in your window, but I don't know if you got them or.
No,
you
I
probably
didn't
did
see
get
it.
them now. Yeah, there was once, you were running fast enough to, even to get a run, it would have to be a daring move. And I didn't want to do that, but
just know I did think about you though.
10-4. I'm going to put that in the memory bank.
Yeah, it was great pro racing.
Yeah, it was fun.
A great show, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep, great job, man. As always.
Yeah, good job. I don't think I would have had nothing for you either.
Yeah, excellent finish. Great performance by you guys. We appreciate it as usual. And Milty, another one down into the books here. Getting toward the home stretch of the season, and Sean Reap with a nice, comfortable lead. But the rest of the points, are second through fifth, are still up for grabs. So still a lot to race for here.
Yeah, Sean, good damage control, as he do, and that's why he's leading the points championship. So he finished well and best he could, and be interesting now with the new broadcasts on YouTube and stuff, and so as we get a few shout outs here on the YouTube right now as I speak. Atkins, Sean Reap there. We hope to see the interaction, and we'll broadcast these when we can, and make it happen.
Yes, we will. And,
long way to go.
Happy to be part of it, and again, check it out, fsbracing.com. Go to the website, look through it. It's got a bunch of info on it. Way to sign up right there and get onto the track, and you can take on these guys on Friday nights, just like we saw tonight. So another solid race, and look forward to broadcasting many more, Milty. So appreciate it, guys. Congrats, Matt.
Yep.
Great job by Slim and Mark as well. Put on a great show for us, and we appreciate that always.
Yep,
And,
good job, guys. Good job.
Thank you.
Greg. No,
Appreciate what you guys do.
And we'll catch you on the next one. FSBRacing.com.